So in this like preamble bit, are we just going to start slagging off Hans?
Yeah, because he's bald.
Yeah.
Bald fat
Oh,
motherfucker.
straight in there, Nick. Straight in there.
That's not very
But
nice
then
there.
the issue is he gets to edit this, so he can just decide what he puts in.
Yeah, but
His head is top of luscious growing hair.
If anything, he'll like cut it together to make it sound like saying like, "Oh, I am gay" or whatever. Don't
you
think
just
he has
made
that
that
much-
really easy for him.
Don't think he has that much dedication.
Well, I mean, all he has to do is cut round you saying that you were gay, and bam.
Yeah, but then it's obvious I've done it
Is it?
because I've just said
Said what?
I'm not doing it. But you've also now said it, Alex. So,
No, I said you are gay.
but I'm sure you've also said I. So
I'm sure later on in this podcast you're gonna be like, I think.
Yeah, well, I'll just have to be very careful
Oh,
then.
you said I. There you go. Well,
yep.
Damn it.
yeah.
Brothers and sisters, welcome to the Not So Super Bash Bros Presents Game Club for May 2017. Yes, Game Club is back, your monthly video podcast thing where we come together, choose a game, play it, and come back and discuss it for your listening pleasure. This month we played Late Shift, the Choose Your Own Adventure FMV game from Control Movie, released April 2017 on Steam. And as ever, I am the actor / X Factor, Nick Davis. Joined by the editor / predator, Alex Proudfoot.
Well, okay.
And joined by the director / garbage collector, Iwa Chung.
Hey, what? I hope garbage is like a metaphor. Like I'm taking out the trash. I hope it's not.
Hang on, so you're getting worked up about being the garbage collector, but he called me a predator?
To be fair, your intro was originally Hans's.
Yeah, well, that would make sense, though.
So,
So you just pawned... you just reused it? Is
do
that
you
what
have
you're saying?
any idea how hard it is to get words that rhyme with film roles? That are funny anyway?
You could have been a bit more creative there, Nick.
Dude,
That's all I'm
there
saying.
was not a lot to go on.
We should have Alex make his own intro
Well, right
thing.
now- Right
Did-
now?
This one, the next 5 we do, because that's how long this series is gonna go, and that's it.
Yes, it was May, which meant it was Alex's month to choose, and you choose Late Shift. Alex, why did you choose Late Shift?
Because I could.
Just that it?
Yeah.
Fair
Why, you
enough.
got a problem with that, Nick?
No, that's fine.
I like to pick games that are, decent, unlike someone who picked Resident Evil.
You've now picked 2 FMV games in a row.
And I think you'll find them both being pretty good.
If you say so. What is Late Shift, I hear you ask? Usually Hans
Someone
says-
who works a late shift and
Way.
ends up in a really bad predicament. So there you go. Bam. Title.
Oh yeah. Alright. Late Shift is a high-stakes FMV crime thriller. Forced into a brutal London heist, you must choose your own adventure in this interactive cinematic experience with adaptable storylines that lead to one of 7 conclusions. Your decisions are you.
Best line.
That is the worst tagline.
What are you talking about? Great tagline.
It's a terrible tagline.
Sold the game.
That is that what sold you in the game? That incredible tagline. So yes, Late Shift is your kind of stereotypical choose your own adventure game as you progress through the game, only set with a FMV movie background rather than computer generated shite. So I did look into some background about Late Shift, and one of the coolest things I actually saw was they did screen this in cinemas with the audience were able to log on to an app on their phone and as a group made the decisions, and then whichever decision had the most choice, that's what the actual movie went along with, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh, that does sound pretty neat, actually.
Yeah.
I would love to take part in that.
I looked into it and like they only seem to be happening around when it came out, like in like
Yeah.
well, like when it was like in the lead up to
Well, I
release.
mean, I'd love to take part in something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
It seemed
not.
it's weird that doesn't seem like it's in the actual game though. Like look at like say Jackbox Party Pack for example. Why couldn't you do something like that for this? Just
Mm.
like have a group of friends around, everyone logs on their phone, and you make decisions as a group. It seems weird as like if it's the technology's kind of already there.
Maybe it's a lot more effort just for something like that.
Yeah,
Considering
it would be a lot of money.
Considering the brevity of this game.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. It just seems weird that like that was obviously there for certain situations, but then wasn't translated to the retail release.
Well, they might do more in the future. That stuff, because I mean, streamers can always do it.
Yeah.
I suppose with this game, although we'll probably get into it. Although they say the choices matter, they kind of don't.
Yeah, I do have that. So, as always, I've split it into 3 categories. First category, acting/quality of FMV, which is something we actually did for Contradiction as well. So that's coming in like, all right, how actually, like as a movie, how does this look like? As
Since you brought up Contradiction, I showed Ioi a clip of the fantastically character in that.
Yeah.
What did you think, Ioi?
Those eyes and just the expressions, the over the top expressions. I'm just gonna say it now for anyone listening, right? Anyone who listens to this show. The acting is a lot better. I'm gonna say with that one character from that other game. But yes, go on.
I believe the way I heard his acting described was it's as if you told an actor to watch David Tennant in Doctor Who and say that's how all acting is done. So acting/quality of FMV. Second category, plot and choices, because I feel like those go very hand in hand.
Yeah.
And the third category is characters. So plot and choices I would feel encompasses the gameplay as we were discussing earlier, since the choices is kind of all there is to the gameplay. Alrighty then. Category 1, acting and quality of FMV. So I have a couple of notes here. First off, especially when compared to Contradiction, I think this is incredibly well shot. There is a lot of very good like tracking shots, and it's not just all static camera stuff. This is made, you could tell this was made by someone who actually has like directed some proper shit. Whereas I could feel like any person could have went and made something like Contradiction, because it's just completely static shots on people having an interview.
Yeah. I mean, Contradiction is kind of a different style of FMV, to be fair, because it's not a choice-based game; it's an investigation. But I would agree, this is extremely well done. Like, you could actually just watch it as a movie, and I think it would be fine.
Yeah, like if you strip like the next note I actually have here is it's very well edited, and like there's no like weird jarring cuts between you making like choices, which is kind of what you would expect. Like there's no alright sitting on this one shot as you wait for the player to make their choice, as you would get in say something like a Telltale game.
You say that, right? But I actually think, not ironically enough, not with the choices, but I did notice a couple of scenes that kind of awkwardly cut. I think a couple of scenes were actually very sudden and just like kind of jarring. I don't think it's perfect in regards to the scene changes.
Oh, I do not. Yeah, I don't think it's perfect, but I do think it is. They've done a good job of like cutting around those choices, which is something that could fall apart very quickly.
Yeah,
where like just like hanging on one shot for like 10 seconds, waiting for the player to make a choice. I think they were very smart about when they put the choices in and how they cut around it.
I do think the choices actually blend well into the actual conversation that's happening as well.
Oh yeah, like the timing leading up to the choices and all, they've actually done that very well, so it doesn't feel like everyone's waiting for... It feels like you're playing along with the movie rather than the movie waiting for you to make choices.
Yeah, you're not directing it, you're taking part in it.
Yeah. Like everything's not stopping so you can do something.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. It's like, especially whenever you get taken to the house and they're planning the event.
Yeah.
It's like you actually interrupt their plans to speak up with your choice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like they're waiting, they're all staring at you. No, they're doing their own thing.
It's not like, oh, we're having a conversation and this is where someone butts in, but we've all stopped talking anyway.
Yeah.
And I'll also give it props this seemed to have a fairly good budget behind it. Like, there was a lot of flashy stuff, to say the least. Like, it was kind of all blown on nice cars, not gonna lie. But
Yeah.
those
And
were
the
nice
upside down
cars.
van on fire.
Yeah. That one CGI shot was a bit bad.
Yeah.
Where, like, you're inside the van as it crashes.
Yeah.
That looked a bit weird.
Yeah, I think 'cause Amy pointed it out whenever we were watching it. Like, I think the blue screen on the van driving looked really like choppy.
Yeah.
So it did.
But, like, I feel like that was maybe the only bit where I was like, what is this?
Yeah, everything else I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, and, like, you can obviously tell, like, there was some thought put into, like, a lot of this. Like, oh, right, flash cars. It's not just, alright, let's blow all our money on a couple of flash cars. Like, a lot of this, like, filming on location stuff was also, like, really nice. So, the actual, also, just the acting as well. This kind of, I feel, ties into characters a bit. But I'll get into it now, because it kind of goes into the next segment. I didn't think there was too many, like, standout performances. For good or for bad, like, especially when compared to Contradiction. Where, like, there's a couple of standout performances, but they're not always for great reasons.
Yeah. I think the characters were done well. I think the best one was the old guy selling the pottery. I think he did a stellar job with all the different personalities he portrays throughout the endings.
Yep.
Yeah, I think everyone did their job, and the fact that you can't really point out a bad performance is, although you can't point out a stellar performance, but
Yeah,
I mean,
it's kind of it's like, there's no bad, there's no, like, really bad, and there's no amazing performances. Everyone was just kind of like, alright, everyone did their job.
yeah, which is fine, because it's a game.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're not going to get top end actors stepping in. You're gonna
Like, I would rather that than, say, what Contradiction had, where, like, for every good performance there was, like, an equally terrible performance.
yeah, over the top, but over the top in the wrong section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's. I don't know. I feel like I think Nick's probably gonna touch on it in a bit, but the characters themselves, though, I felt did not lend themselves. Like I didn't feel like the characters gained much opportunity to like show off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because no character is actually there for very long.
Yeah. Apart from the main character.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The entire movie's kind of moving very fast, which kind of goes against it, because it then leaves no time for, like, character development and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that you can kind of get through this in a playthrough in about, like, an hour and 20 minutes kind of doesn't lend itself to being a character-driven piece. Like, I think, as I said, I don't think I could actually remember. Like, I remember maybe 3 people's names from the entire movie.
Yeah.
What was the main character called?
Matt.
Matt. Okay,
Matt.
right.
Matt, Mei Ling, and Samuel, who's the old
Oh,
guy,
poor Mei Ling.
are the only 3 names I remember.
The group who's doing the crime, they don't really appear too much.
Yeah.
Even the guy who gets injured by falling down from the roof. Like,
Yeah.
You see him, twice?
Yep.
Who?
So
You
it's not-
see him fall down, and then you see him again whenever the truck crashes. That's about
Yeah.
it.
So, I mean, they feel like background characters, even though I feel like they could have been developed a lot more. Like, a lot more time could have been put into that planning.
Yeah.
But I can see why they didn't. It was kind of like, you interrupted it. You walked in on it, and now you're...
I feel like almost, because obviously they had to take into account, alright, here's all the different reshoots we're going to have to do for all the different, like, outcomes, kind of takes away, alright, we've had to put so much budget towards doing reshoots that we can't make the actual thing any longer to, like, flesh out characters and flesh out plot points and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, it kind of ended up being a double-edged sword, that it was like a choose-your-own-adventure thing. But, like, all in all, I do actually think, like, if you watch this as a movie, like, it would, like, it's not offensively bad in any way.
No, I think it would be a solid movie.
Yeah, which I think is a no mean feat, to be fair. When you're trying to design around a choose your own adventure game, like if you just took a set path, like it would work fine. Which I'm kind of shocked there isn't just like a movie mode.
Oh,
Yeah, once you complete it, it just
Like,
it
all right,
defaults the...
pick an ending. Like, once you say get a few endings done, like, all right, pick an ending and we'll just play the game to that ending.
Well, the main issue with that is that they didn't include a fast forward or skip.
Yes, I did read a couple of reviews saying that like,
So
obviously...
to get any other ending, you would actually just have to play it through entirely again without...
Yeah.
You'd see similar scenes.
making all the choices you know until you get to here's the branching point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a weird oversight.
Yeah, I actually had an issue with the game where my game got into a black screen.
What?
Just made the wrong choice, man.
Yeah, obviously, right. I think my character was blinded because I think
eighth ending.
because I think the audio was still playing, but my screen was black. Okay, and I think it got to the point where it just kind of stopped and hung. Like the menu worked fine, so I quit out of the game and just reloaded, and it was absolutely fine. But like that was the one really random, just technical thing I had. I think it was like something with
Was
like,
it like just after you made a choice?
I don't remember
I
personally.
was wondering maybe like, oh, did the game just not like load fast enough? And
I think it was just during one of the like scene, like maybe not quite after a choice, but you know, like whenever you get one of those achievements, which are like not stepping stones,
progressional ones.
Progression ones. I think it's during one of those load bits.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It just kind of went, nope, that's all you're playing.
Yeah, maybe just.
And then I stopped and made dinner at that point, so they know.
Yeah, it's mid-movie snack.
Yeah.
All right, so all in all, I think we're all kind of impressed with the movie side of things, I'd say.
Yeah.
So this is where I think that maybe we'll all fall apart when we discuss the plot and choices. So I think the overarching plot is kind of cookie cutter, but it's fine. Like, it's not exactly mind-blowing by any stretch of imagination, but it fulfills its purpose.
Yeah, it worked all right.
I thought the plot was fine.
Yeah.
However, the choices is where I feel like this entire thing falls apart.
I'll have you know, Nick, the first set of choices you make made me love the game.
Oh, whether you stand near the door or don't stand near the door of the bus.
Yep. Oh, and whether you help the guy out or leave him.
Yeah, I'd helped him.
I did not help him.
I helped him.
You still make your train.
I wanted to not help him, but you still help him.
Do you?
Yeah, you still help him because he's just bugging you, right?
So
And
persistent.
I actually really like from a gameplay standpoint. I like that was the way it introduced you to. Oh, this is what you will expect to see.
Yeah.
You will see choices come up in this part of the screen. You will have a timer. Like these choices don't mean anything, but they're portrayed quite nicely.
Yeah.
It's just a guy going home, like, or going to work. Sorry, like I think it's actually really good. And also, because I'm in London, getting the London Tube, I was just like
Super immersed.
Yeah. Whoa.
Too real.
How many places did you recognize?
Enough.
He recognized the car park because that's his apartment building.
Nice cars there all the time, guys.
Is that actually a Chinese restaurant in London that they go to?
Well, I can find out for you. Like, it is. I know the area is on the tube from where I can go, from where I am. So I can.
That's your mission for next month. I check if that is an actual at that address. Is there a Chinese restaurant there?
I don't think they tell you the address. It's just.
I think it just tell you the street.
Yeah, it's just the area.
Well, Nick, did you give the girl the car keys?
No. Fuck
Right,
that
okay.
noise. Did you?
No. I tried that to get money off her.
Oh no, I didn't even try that. I just said no, fuck off.
Oh, you did an IY and you just shut it down immediately?
Yeah, I'm doing my job.
Because I let her elaborate. I was like, why do you want them? And she was like, I made a bet for £1,000
Like an idiot.
that I would turn up to this party in this car. I was like, okay, give me a cut of that. And then I haggled her up to 300, and she was like, I don't think I could do 300. I was like, all right.
Then
No,
I don't think
you're
I
not
can do
getting
a
the
car.
Yeah, you're not getting a car. And he's like, what? So, yeah. But I was saying to me, it wasn't really explained why she was then in the hospital later on.
It is.
If you did it.
One of the options she says why she's at the hospital.
Because I don't remember being told.
No, she says she works there and like she's had to do extra shifts to cover off the grant she now owes. Like whatever option I pick, she does actually explain that she works here, and that she is now working extra shifts.
Like I got I work here, but I think I don't know. I don't recall ever knowing, because my thought process was what I told Alex was that, oh wait a minute, if she has to show up to some party, then why is she at the hospital later on? But I didn't, because obviously I didn't ask her at the car park like Alex. She doesn't tell you, obviously, there. But I don't remember at the hospital her.
Well, you're now
saying,
the next day at that point, are you not?
No, you're later on that night.
Yeah, you're like.
I could have sworn you're like at least like that morning at that point.
I think you were the next morning.
Yeah,
because everything happens at night and then it is the next morning.
So in theory, that party could be over, like depending.
Well, when I say that night, I mean like 5 a.m., like 3 to 5 a.m.
Yeah,
kind of
like it's morning-ish. Like it's not a sociable morning, but.
All right, well, yeah, if you guys say it says in both accounts, then that's fine then.
No, she totally says, I work here and I'm having now work extra
You
shifts.
Screwed me out of $1,000, man. I was like,
Yeah.
You screwed me out of $300, man.
So, yes, so my biggest issue, I feel like, with the choices is...
They're fake choices?
Yes, they are shit choices.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I would say
No, I think so many of the choices have no bearing. I think there is so many choices, like...
What I will say is at least they're not as bad as the Game of Thrones Telltale game.
Oh, yeah, like, they're, like... Don't get me wrong, other games do this. Telltale games, like, exactly do the exact same thing, where, like, so many choices don't actually matter in the grand scheme of things. But because this game is, one, so short, and two... What was the other reason I thought? Two, because, like, I feel like it's a lot more blatantly obvious in this that your choice, like... So, for example, I went with the guy in the car, didn't try to run, until I got to the house. My two options at that point are run away, or go with him into the house. I ran away, nothing happens. I just get caught, and I still go into the house. Why you can give me the choice at that point?
It's the attempt.
But why? Because I don't feel like it disingenuous. Like, it's not like, oh, you tried to run away, you're not going to be a part of the gang now. Like, literally, me trying to run away had no bearing on anything.
I can see what Nick's saying.
Yeah.
Like,
I liked how...
The only... So, I did... Sorry, alright. The only thing I did see that kind of, like, your choices, like, built up, depending on what you did, if you do all the right choices with Mei Ling, like, there is a hint of romance at the end. Like, that is the only thing I could see that was like, alright, if you make all these choices...
A hint of romance? There's a full choice to kiss her.
Oh, no, I didn't even get that.
What?
So, yeah, you only get that choice if you make all the right choices up to there. Like, that is what... So, like, if you make all the right choices leading up, it's like if you're really nice to Mei Ling throughout the entire game.
No, this isn't at the end of the game.
When? When's this?
Whenever you visit the restaurant, and then you leave. You know, you go to, like, an apartment or something, or a hotel room.
I didn't go to a restaurant.
I went to the Chinese restaurant, but that's because I was captured.
You go to the Chinese restaurant to try and sell him the vase.
Oh, is this once you've got it back? You have the option to go back to the restaurant or go to Samuel Powers?
It's
like you've already been to the restaurant, you've been tortured, and then they've sent you out to go get the real thing. Or they've sent you out because you said, alright, I know where to get it.
No, the first time you go to the restaurant?
When you're being tortured?
Was I being tortured? I don't remember being tortured.
And, like, they use, like, the thumb crank thing.
When you say restaurant, do you mean the hotel thing?
The Chinese restaurant.
Restaurant-ass restaurant.
Yeah, the Chinese restaurant. You go talk to him, then you leave.
I don't actually remember a restaurant at all.
I remember, like, they say, like, alright, here's where their hideout is.
Yes.
And it is a Chinese restaurant, but then you get the option to either go back to it once you've already been there, but upstairs part of it, or go to Samuel Powers' house.
Well, I went to the restaurant to try and... After the van crashed.
Yeah.
I went to the restaurant to try and sell him it, and he was like, I'm not touching that because I upbid it.
Oh,
Right.
I went straight to the cops.
Oh,
Is
yeah, maybe
is
that's why.
that the decision change?
Maybe, yeah.
Must be.
Okay, I went straight to the cops. Well,
Yeah, I
so
went
what
to
happens
the
in your
cops.
one then, Alex?
So I go to the restaurant, and he's like, why the hell did you bring that here? He's like, because you're the one that ordered it stolen. I didn't order it stolen. Nothing to do with me. And then you're like, you call him out, it's like, you don't want to buy it because you know how much it's sold for, and you don't want to give us our cut. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, get out. And then his thugs throw you out. And then Mei Ling's like, alright, we need to go assess our options. So you go to like a room, I think it's a B&B actually. And you register under the name Smith. She takes you upstairs, I think she goes in to see if there's a bath, comes out and is like, oh, there's no bath, sits on the bed, and then the option is like, kiss her. I did not.
Okay, so what happens after that? I wonder where our game sort of
Yeah,
join
like
up
where
again,
did the past like come back?
merge again.
Um,
Did the Troys find you?
Because for us, we went to the police, and then
Yep.
they technically arrest you,
Yep.
and
And then
then
we transport you, but then it gets attacked.
yeah, the transport gets like hit by the Chinese mafia thing.
Yeah. And
Like-
then you get tortured.
Yeah,
Good times.
then you get taken to the Chinese restaurant upstairs and tortured.
oh, so then it's like discussing who would know where the real one is.
Oh, and then that's
It's
when you
like-
go to the hospital.
That's when you go to the hospital.
Okay, so then so the difference is
So Alex didn't get tortured? What?
Alex
Nope.
did not get tortured. So that is like that is the biggest change I have actually heard about this. Is like Alex went to a completely different place.
That's pretty good then.
There's
That is
also another big one that me and I saw.
Is that if you go back to the Chinese place instead of going to Samuel Power's house?
No, if you go back to the auction.
You can go back to the auction.
Yes.
Yeah, you can actually, if you get caught, when you go upstairs and get caught at the computer,
Yeah.
if you stay, you go down into the basement and you actually get into a van and start looking through stuff.
Oh no, I got that.
We didn't.
Oh okay. So what did you
Because
get
we-
instead?
We,
We
we,
went
we
straight
ran
to-
the foe out.
Oh.
Yeah, we went straight to your man's house.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So maybe there is more choice than it initially seems, but like in the moment, it seems like none of those choices really actually matter. Maybe it's just a lot of the earlier ones don't because they need to get you to a certain point.
Yeah, you need
but
to
like
build you
maybe
up to
I'd say
get-
maybe up until after the auction, like none of those choices like I feel like matter in the grand scheme of things.
Just
Yeah.
just to clarify here, if I got this right. So Nick, you were in the van, right?
Yes,
Which means
Like-
you get
the real one.
you get the real one, and then you
So you
and
get
then
you
you
get the real
automatically
one,
go-
and then mailing rings you
yeah
saying don't come back here because they're just going to kill us both anyway.
yeah.
So then your options are right, go back anyway and try and help Mei Ling, or go to Samuel Power's house and get him
Oh.
to admit.
Do you know what happens in the B&B? The thugs turn up. They
Yeah.
appear at the reception and ask for you. So you have the option of going out the window or running down the stairs and hiding.
So maybe running down the stairs ends up then in the same position we were in Iowa.
Well, I ran downstairs, but made it look
did
like
you?
I went out the window.
Oh, okay.
But you go outside and they see you, but you throw the fake one and shatter it and run away.
Oh, okay. And then that's when you go to the hospital.
Yeah, and get jumped.
Okay. So maybe basically what happens to me is you come out like mailing range, you say, alright, if you come back they're gonna kill you anyway. So you're off so she essentially says, go to Samuel Power and get him to admit, and I'll leave the phone on. So like they hear it. Get him to admit that
Oh,
he was planning to steal it back all along. And then I got that, and then Mei Ling and Matt walk off.
Yeah,
after
you
he
got
gets-
you got in my opinion the only
Good
good
ending.
ending.
So what were
Yeah.
your endings?
We got
We both got
framed
the
for
same one.
murder.
Yep. We both
Who's the murder?
Mei Ling's.
Mei Ling dies.
Oh,
like-
okay.
Mei Ling dies, I think, in all the endings bar your one.
Yeah, I'm
Fair
pretty sure
enough.
that's the case.
Because in all the other endings you kind of fail,
Yeah.
so she gets punished.
Fair enough.
I think
Although you
that's
don't
like-
see it in a lot of them, but
No,
it's implied.
No, it's kind of like they drive off with her.
Yeah.
Or,
but-
they walk over to your dying body and say, tell us where it is or we'll kill the girl and you don't tell her where it is, and then you die.
No, I ended up in the back of a van, found it, and then Mei Ling was like, "All right, don't come back."
No, I think Alex and I, we kind of just went like, nope, we have no information. Let's just go straight to Powers, and then he offers you a deal,
Yeah.
which is the other. Let's call it a good ending, which is that you just you leave with like all the monies, and Mei Ling's the only one that gets like punished at the end of it.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
So maybe that's the good ending. Maybe that's actually the good ending.
No, I want to
You
say
get
I
the
maybe
million?
had the only way my ending I think could have been better is if I had the Mei Ling romance option. I'd say.
But yeah, like, okay, so maybe the decisions kind of do matter.
Yeah,
a wee
like
bit.
maybe like obviously this is maybe the downside of I only play through it once because I only wanted to play through it once.
Oh yeah, no, I'm in the same
There's
position.
no
Yeah,
helpful way to get through a second playthrough.
because the choices seem so insignificant that
Uh,
Yeah, at the time.
yeah, you don't really feel like playing through it again.
I am
like-
actually surprised about the police station one. I
Yeah.
assumed that was only gonna be one choice.
Hmm.
Um,
So essentially, Alex, at the after the thing crashed, you're standing there with Mei Ling. You have the option, right? Go with Mei Ling or report to the police.
Yeah, I went with Mei Ling.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I reported.
I was
them to
like,
the
I'm
police.
going to the police, and she was like, no. I was like, all right, okay, let's go.
so easily convinced.
but what's interesting to note though is that at the same time, maybe the choices don't matter because if you think about
Yeah.
it, Alex made that choice,
Ended
But
up
you
at the
and I went the
hospital
other
at the
choice.
same time,
And you ended up at the same ending, yeah.
but us, we ended up with the same ending.
Mm.
but took
So-
different paths to get there.
Yeah, so in
Yeah.
theory, could literally like do only the ending, like your decisions towards the end actually matter. Mm.
I think I was talking to Alex about this. I think the only decision that mattered, although not that you brought your thing up, I thought that the only decision that mattered was the auction house at the computer.
Oh, like where do you stay?
Yes, because you stayed, Nick.
Yep.
The power was in your hand because
I
you
didn't
had
get caught.
yes, because you had the Super Bowl.
Like I knew where the ball was.
But because Alex and I didn't get the ball, we were kind of at the mercy of power,
Yeah.
which is where some of the endings are. Is because that unlocks the ability to shoot him
Yep.
and get killed.
Yep.
And it
Why do
unlocks
you
the
get
abil-
killed?
Eh?
Why do you
Oh,
get killed?
because
if you shoot him?
the Choi's come and then gun you down.
Oh,
and
okay.
then hilariously, you're there bleeding out, and they're like, here, look, maybe you should tell us where the thing is.
It's like, oh, you shot me and fucking cracked it, you dumbasses.
Yeah. So I actually now that I'm thinking about it, I think that is actually the decision that's important
Yeah. It's like,
because whether or not you have the ball at the end of
yeah,
it.
whether you actually like figure out where the ball is. Yeah, so maybe like at the end, like again, like it's where do you have all right cumulative decisions that build up towards like your character doing something that you have no control over, or do you just have these branching points? It's an issue that I feel like even like say Telltale games still have issues with in their games.
Well, I feel like this actually gave more paths
Yeah,
than a typical Telltale game because if you think about it, there are choices that lead in two different paths. Yes, they come together eventually and then split off again.
yeah,
So there's like key moments, but there's different ways to get to those key moments,
yeah.
which I thought,
It's the
Pretty
issue
cool.
that like all right, you can have as many branching choices as you want, but every choice still has to hit these key points in the story.
you know.
No matter how far away from this center path you get away from, you still need to hit these key points.
Well, the thing is, with a game like this, it would be budget.
Yeah, is
They-
like
They need certain things to happen in certain places, otherwise it just gets way out of control.
yeah. Like how many fucking different reshoots
Yeah.
can they afford?
How many options for like each path, and
Yeah,
then
yeah. Your
all
issues
the-
are like it's the design philosophy of alright, do you just have a key point at the start and a key point at the end, and fucking thousands of branches in between, which
That's
probably
why
isn't,
I
which isn't
think-
viable for this.
voice acted and FMV choice games will never be
Yeah,
100% your choice matters because it's just impossible to cover
Yeah.
everything.
which is like to get into my university degree here. That is like literally one thing we look into in one of our big courses or one of our modules is alright dynamic AI storytelling. But like it's just so far out at this point.
Yeah.
Is like having an AI that can like essentially replicate a dungeon master in a game of like D&D.
For what it is, I think they did it pretty well.
Oh yeah,
Judging by
especially-
the sheer difference in stories we experienced.
yeah, especially like hearing like your guys' stories and seeing how like there is actually radically different paths. Like I am rethinking that. All right, maybe the choices do matter a bit more. But if I don't feel like the choices matter in playing it the first time, I'm not exactly left with the feeling like, all right, need to fucking do this again.
Like, thinking about this more, actually, I'm having a little bit more respect for this game, because you know how you see a lot of games. I'm going to take Deus Ex Human Revolution as the example.
Yep.
You know how people complain about how it does not matter what you do because it is 3 buttons at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same with Mass Effect 3, isn't it? If I recall?
At the end of Mass
Is that
Effect
it changes
3,
what color the lights are
yeah.
on the universe, if I recall.
Yeah.
So people complain about how, oh well, you know, my choices didn't matter, so that sucks. But then the other way to look at it then is that, let's say your choices did matter. At what point do you decide then as a game you are now locked into this ending?
Yeah, like it's,
Which then means
like
that
what
there
point
are
do you
no
say
more
to the
choices.
player, you're no longer making choices. We've got, like, say, your character profile, and your character is now going to make the choices we believe you would have made.
Yeah. So actually, this game probably isn't too bad because it did split it kind of twice at the end, because it's like the auction bit is split, and then your decision at the very end is split.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably better than a lot
There's
of games
actually
thinking about
so much you can do at the Power Household. It's ridiculous.
it. Yeah, it's true.
Going into it, like you can shatter the vase, you can get killed, you can take the money, or
You can get out scot-free.
you can get out scot-free. Then you can follow up and get framed for murder.
Oh, yep. Should have
I
just
can't
gone
believe
home.
you guys got framed for murder.
Should have
We
just
got
gone
played, man. We got played.
You really did.
home. No, I didn't get played. I just listened to Amy. She was like, oh, just go back to them. Just go back to them.
Okay, me and Amy got played.
Oh, I was just along for the ride.
Yeah, I was just there. That's just watching.
I
the
was the mailing of this situation.
movie.
I was like, sure, I'll trust these gun-carrying criminals. You know, this crime family. I'll
I'll
trust
trust
them.
this loose equivalent of a triad.
They'll give me a key card to a room. Yep,
Um,
she'll be in there just sitting peacefully. Oh, what's it? Oh, she's lying on the floor. Must be tired.
But-
Must be
That's a pool of blood under her. Oh dear. Oh, there's the police coming in behind me, and I'm holding the murder weapon. Not looking good.
Yeah.
You guys got a
I
raw
think-
deal.
Yeah, I think, like, maybe I'm wrong about this. I don't watch very many movies, right? But one big thing about this is that is the perspective of this movie. It is always on Matt,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which means that's, you know, one of the things we were saying about how you can't develop the world, as it were.
Yeah,
Because
because you
you
need to be
ha-
on Matt to make a choice.
Yes, which is kind of cool, but at the same time, it's really terrible. It's like
Yeah.
really bad. So
Because, like, say any other movie, all right, Matt making his way to wherever he's going, the hospital, wherever. At that point in the movie, you would cut to another character in another scene and develop them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, but that never happens in this. Like, say, like, all right, Matt's on his way to the hospital. That's when you would say cut to Mei Ling, like, being tortured or something to develop her character. But because you
Yeah.
can't cut away from Matt because you need to make choices, it never happens. So this seems like a good segue to talk about the characters, because I feel like this compounded my complete dislike of a lot of the choices. All the characters, especially Matt, unlikable twats.
Yeah.
I think
I don't know.
Matt comes across as the biggest dickhead.
I liked right hand henchman's stylish yellow.
I liked the guard in the auction house. I'm not gonna lie. He was doing his job, and he was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh, Sebastian, the French one?
No, he's just the.
No, he's the expert.
Oh, the guard, you draw out, and then Sebastian comes along. Okay.
I think
Yeah.
you'll find I tried to do a runner at that point,
What did they do?
which is really bad. Actually, no. Let me tell you this. This is one of those, like, it doesn't. Your
doesn't
choices
matter,
don't matter,
yeah.
right? So if you sorry for everyone listening, the decision is: do you go up or down the elevator?
Yeah.
Everyone wants you to go down to help with the operation. I was like, nope, I'm going up. So I go up, and I, like, try to get help. For some reason, I think there is actually a reason, but, like, one of the other guys catches you there, on the floor up,
Yeah.
and he takes you back down.
Was it
right?
the blonde guy? Probably, because
I-
he's like because he doesn't go to the auction, and he like seems like he hangs around like that foyer that you walk into at the very start.
I can't remember, but either way, right? The thing I want to point out is there is a bit where a random civilian, a worker, walks past you at the elevator, and your option is speak out or stay quiet. I chose to speak out, and so Matt is like, "Ah," and then the guy just like pinches you slightly, and then you just stop saying anything. You're in this life and death situation,
Yeah.
and the best you can make is like a small grunt, and that's
Until
it.
someone pinches you.
Yeah, and then you go down, and there's like, and I think because you're not there to help him, I think Alex told me that the guard just gets knocked out. Is it? Do you remember, Nick? In your one?
Yes, he just gets like he gets like injected with something, like must be like a knockout drug.
Yeah. So things don't go according to plan in my game because I wasn't there to help. There's like blood. I think
Oh.
I think Strip gets to get murdered instead.
No, in my game they inject the guy and then they have to like beat the fuck out of Sebastian.
Yep, that's what happens to mine.
So that's why Sebastian ends up in hospital.
But yeah, we're talking about the characters. Sorry.
So yeah,
it's-
so like literally, I just think Matt comes across as such a dick. He just has this smarmy tone of voice. He looks like a twat. He constantly bitches. Like, dude, if you just go along with this plan, you're getting a decent payout. You're a criminal, but fuck it, no one's gonna know. You go back to your job, you got a nice paycheck, and that's it. No, he moans every time. So literally every choice, I wanted Matt to die. Which is why, like, I kind of went along hoping the plan would go wrong.
one thing I was really confused about was, you know how there's this whole fear about like playing along with this, right?
Yeah.
It's mentioned once at like the original hideout that there's cameras in that parking lot. So surely he is like say, you know, Alex and I, right, get framed for murder, right? That looks really bad on us. But at the same time, it's like,
We're
wait a
held at
minute,
gunpoint and forced into a car.
Yeah.
yeah, like, did you not see that on the cameras? Like, is this compound with these
Yeah.
expensive cars so bad?
And why doesn't he bring that up in the police interview, thinking about it?
Yes, that's the big thing. That really annoyed me. Was
We're just-
like,
yeah, okay, now we're just picking plot holes.
yeah, but like, but it's important. But that's important to talk
Yeah.
about though, as a player, like making decisions like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of hide decisions from you.
Like, it's the Chekhov's gun thing, where, like, why bring up that there's cameras in the parking lot if that information's not going to be used elsewhere?
Yeah,
Like, it's the whole, alright, if a gun's in a scene, it should be shot, or else why is it in the scene? But yeah, I just think, literally, Mei Ling is the most likable character, and she's not even that great. Everyone else is just a dick.
I feel like everyone else was supposed to be, though.
I
I don't think you're supposed to like any of the criminals. I don't think you're supposed to
Par
like...
is the best character.
Oh yeah, he's by far the best character. Having a sneaky gun in the safe? Yeah, damn right, he's the best character.
Where else are you going to keep your gun? Or keep it out of kids' hands?
And there's one ending where he beats you up in there. Beats you with a golf club or something.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep. But he makes you just run away. Like you're.
So he chases you off his property with a golf club like a typical old man.
Yeah. So yeah, you know how like you have the ball neck.
Yeah.
There is a choice to make, and the idea is what? Oh yeah. You're trying to tell him that that's the fake one or something like that. He calls your bluff, and smashes it, and then you're like, you know, sobbing on the floor, and he beats you down with a golf club.
See,
Oh yeah,
that's
then you walk outside and the crime family's there.
Yep.
And you're holding the shards, and it's like, I can explain. And they just get in their car and leave with Mei Ling.
See, in my game, I walk in, I have the real one. I can't remember how, but I end up with the fake and the real one. So, like, the real one's in my pocket, and then, like, he's like, oh, I've got the real one, or I've got the real one, which is actually the fake one in his hand here. And your options are, like, keep it in your hand, or, like, throw it to him.
Yeah, no, the two options are put it on the table,
Yeah,
I think,
or throw it
to
at him. I threw it at him.
It's
But I can't remember
that.
how I got out of that, like, that he didn't call my bluff, that was the fake one.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just the shock of having this thing thrown at him.
Yeah, maybe.
He was like, oh, I don't want to check this. Oh no, that's it. It's because if you just put it down, that's you sort of saying I don't want to risk this, but you being like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like that's you actually going for it. But yeah, it's I don't know. That's like we said earlier. I think the characters are bad just because you don't know anything.
There's
them.
no time to develop them.
Yeah.
I assumed evil Chinese guy with the stylish yellow. I thought there was gonna be something learnt about him.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna be like, like
No, he
the
just asked you
rival
what knife you
character.
want stabbed with.
Yes, like that was
That bit's
brilliant.
fucked up.
That bit's brilliant. All right.
He asked you wanted to be stabbed with a long knife or a short knife.
Actually, right, saying this now.
I
right,
picked the short knife.
I think I picked the long one. Either way, right? I said to Alex, right? You know how Alex and I got framed?
Yeah.
So Mainling's there, right? Stabbed with one of the knives. And the knife I had chosen, he had said to me, oh, it's like a slow, painful one.
Yeah, it's a short knife. Yeah. He's
So
like,
I
oh, it's a slow, painful death, and like the barbs will pull at your skin as it gets taken out.
Yeah. So I assumed that Lehman got stabbed. Or Lehman.
Yeah.
Wrong game. Right? I thought she got stabbed with the other knife. So I was like, wait, if I had given her the short death, maybe she can explain to the police. Like, he's like, talk, woman, talk. I don't know.
Because I feel like the characters are, as you said, like victims of maybe a limited budget where they couldn't afford to shoot more to do more character development.
Yeah.
I felt like the game could have been longer, though. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
like-
it did feel like it could have been longer because, well, for me and our ending was abrupt, to say the least.
Oh, don't get mine. Kind of just ends like it's a bit of it's a happy note, but it's still kind of just fucking sudden cut and then credits, which is obviously maybe the issue of like, oh, if I'd done other choices, I would have got that romantic option towards the end, so they just had to do a hard cut there. So it feels weird. Like it feels like it's weird. Like it feels like there was budget shortcuts taken, but it also feels like where's a lot of the budget, you maybe don't see where a lot of the budget goes because you don't see a lot of the scenes.
Well, that's an aspect as well, yeah.
But like, again, like I think my final playtime ended up being, I'd say, playing it an hour 15, hour 20 minutes.
I think mine was 73.
Yeah,
yeah, mine was about
like
7
it's a
minutes.
game you can get through very quickly and maybe not even see a lot of it because it just depends
Yeah.
what choices you make.
Yeah, at the end of my ending, it said like, "Oh, you've seen 13
Yeah.
out of like
14
17
scenes or
chapters,
something, yeah.
something like that."
Something like, but then like, I think maybe that number even compounded like how much of these choices actually matter. If like, alright, I made these choices and only didn't see 3 chapters.
Yeah, and that would be the choice Alex made.
That would be go to the B&B or go with Mailing,
Yeah.
and then the other endings that you've got, and then the other choice for me probably would have been, alright, if I'd went to the Chinese instead of going to Samuel Power's house. Like seeing that maybe as a number, even like compounded saying, alright, how much did these choices really matter if I only missed 3 chapters in one playthrough? And obviously, like so many of those are going to be like, alright, you probably can't, like you obviously can't see all the chapters in one playthrough.
That's a good point.
Like it's kind of compounded saying, alright, literally, I would say at most this would take 2 playthroughs to see every chapter.
Yeah. Not every ending, no.
Yeah, not every ending, obviously, but
Since,
every
yeah,
chapter
there's
would
7
take,
bloody endings.
would take like 2 playthroughs at most.
Maybe, guys, right? We're looking at this wrong. Maybe this is actually the best game, because if you think about it, proportionally, we have talked about this game more in comparison to the playtime than any other game on this show. I think.
Possibly, yeah. I feel like a lot of that comes from choices.
Well, I
there.
mean, I really enjoyed this game.
But to be fair, it's not hard when like it is all plot
Yeah.
and there's no gameplay to talk about.
Yeah.
Obviously, like if you think, alright, if we just sit and talked about the plot of like Danganronpa, you could probably talk about it for ages. But there's also other stuff to talk about. Like strip out all the gameplay from Danganronpa and think about how short it would be if it was just like an animated movie.
Well, since you mentioned that, do you want to read out Hanch's statement on this game?
Yes, I was going to do it in like just as the like as part of our conclusions.
Oh, okay.
So, is there any other like actual things anyone would like to bring up before we conclude?
We can just go to conclusions.
All right.
Yeah, just drop it.
All in all, in conclusion, I thought I'll admit this is maybe a game, like, after talking to you guys about it, I have slightly different feelings about it. Like, I probably feel better after discussing it with you and saying, alright, maybe there is more substantial choices. But, in my view, buy this, play this once with your choices, and probably do what I did and refund it, and then look at the other choices on YouTube. Just because the choices don't seem like they make that much of a difference. The game doesn't really accommodate multiple playthroughs as nice as you'd think it would. And there's probably going to be, even if you do play it again and get different choices, you're still going to see a lot of repeated scenes. It's maybe not worth playing more than once. That one playthrough is like good, like it's nice, it's decent, it's a short, fun playthrough. But after that, I'd say there's not a lot to it. So you could probably buy this risk-free and like get your refund, which is really a dickish thing to say, but it's probably the best way to go about it. Alex?
Well, I would say get it on sale, because then you're not having to spend £10 on one playthrough. You can spend a couple pound on one playthrough, enjoy it, and just leave it in your library to sit, not touch it again. But it is a really good game, really enjoyable, solid movie experience, and some of the choices pretty good.
Awa?
I feel that if you're in a position where you're like, you know what, I kind of want an FMV game, this is probably not a terrible one to get at the end of the day, the way we've even talked about it. Like, a lot of these games have a lot of limitations, but I think we feel all here as a group that like this one is not a bad one. So if you are on the fence about it,
y'all could tie it.
Yeah.
Another show we do.
This is probably the one to play then.
So I have a write-in here from a fan, Mr. Hans Davis.
He's an idiot.
Yeah,
Can
because
we
he is.
just highlight the fact that he is really silly?
Yep, he is an idiot and made
It's like,
plans
Hans,
like
whenever
a
you're
dumbass.
editing this, like make sure that you being an idiot is highlighted.
So
Yeah.
super Bash Bruce fan, Hans Davis. He says, solid but not gripping story with some nice narrative moments. Acting was surprisingly good! ! Gameplay was non-existent. Other FMV games have done more gameplay-wise. 8 out of 16, it was fine.
Well, I mean,
He's not wrong.
but it's a pretty good game though. Like I think he's underselling it a lot. Then again, he's not here because he's an idiot.
We will
So
maybe
you can't-
hear more thoughts from Hans in the preamble for next month's show to get maybe a bit of a deeper, because he obviously
If he
listened to
remembers
this.
to turn up.
Yeah. No, he has to. Everyone has to be here next month because that's when we're unveiling our Fate 5s.
All right, okay.
Putting my foot down. I don't care if you don't play the game. You will at least have to be here to do your Fate 5s.
Right, okay.
So yes, that is it for May. Late Shift. Mixed to positive reviews.
I wouldn't say mixed. I would say very positive.
I would say I was mixed on it.
But you said your opinions got better, so it's positive.
I'd say Hans is right there.
Hans
mixed.
doesn't count.
He is 8 out of 16.
He's
right
not
there,
here.
mixed.
He's not here, so he doesn't count. So it's a positive.
Net positive, is that better?
Yep, net positive.
Net positive reviews for Late Shift. And as always, you can be a scumbag and do what I did and play it and refund it straight away. Because Steam system is easy to abuse.
Yeah, it is.
But yet, before we wrap up, it is important to note that June is coming up. And that means, IOI, it is your turn to pick a game. I know you have been racked with this decision for the past 2 days.
It's been a rough few days now.
I'm interested.
I'm interested.
I've been on Humble Bundle looking at sales, been on Steam,
Been on
as usual,
GOG.
been on Green Man Gaming. Look at all those guys, right?
So IOI,
Now,
what are we playing next
now,
month?
originally I wanted to keep with the Chinese Mafia theme and pick Sleeping Dogs, right? But we're not doing that, right?
Uh-oh.
Instead, right, I decided that I should apologize to Alex,
What?
right?
What?
Alex,
Yes.
my very first game of Game
Oh
Club
god.
was Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time. Okay,
Yeah.
because I went to London. You had no one to play it with,
Yeah.
right? That was very mean of me, and I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, you said, right, you can come over to my house and we can play it at my house, and then you buggered off to London.
Yep.
Yep.
I didn't specify what house, Alex. Let me get that.
It's not his fault you couldn't afford the flights. Come on.
All right. So, I have chosen another multiplayer game for us to play. A game which is on Hans' wish list on Steam.
Oh.
What?
And a game
Really?
which I know that I think Alex, or it might have been Nick, was interested in. A reboot of, I believe it was 1985's Gauntlet.
Oh man.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. On Steam, on sale currently. By the way, guys, we're gonna each buy individually because it's cheaper than the 4-pack. It's like 50p cheaper than actually buying the 4-pack.
That doesn't make
that
sense.
is that is my game for June.
I have to say, I disappointed you didn't pick Brutal Legend.
There's always your next turn, Alex.
I mean, that is true.
There it
Similar
is.
to God Eater 2. Oh, there you go, Iwai.
Is it?
Yeah. That's what we're gonna find out after this show
Yeah.
ends.
So there it is. For June 2017, we'll be like Gauntlet. So join us then. But for now, it is a goodbye from Alex.
Is it?
It is
It
a
is.
goodbye from IY.
Your choices are you.
That is a goodbye. That is a goodbye from me. See you next month.